Today is July 9th, 2016. This is Diana Dombrowski here with Roberta Wiatt in Gloucester Courthouse, Virginia. Roberta, could you please tell us how you spell your name?
W-I-A-T-T. And I have gone through something with that spelling. I mean, even spell check kicks it out. It's unreal because most people use the Y, but we don't use the Y. We were the other branch. Anyway.
Okay.
My first name is Alice, but I don't use that name, so Roberta is good.
Okay.
I'm named for two grandmothers.
Really?
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nice. Could you tell me where and when you were born?
June 5, 1933 in Suffolk, Virginia.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about where you grew up?
I grew up on Duval Avenue in Gloucester Courthouse. And there were right many kids that grew up at the same time. My best friend was next door, and my brother's best friend was next door, which was kind of interesting. And then there was one across the street, and there were two across the street over there, and next door was a cousin. And there were a lot of kids on the street, which was nice. You know, you had a lot of people to play with and fun things to do. Also, we're surrounded, as you can see, by woods. And nowadays, you don't go in the woods. I mean, it could be people, it could be insects, you know. But then, it was different. It wasn't a dangerous thing. It was a fun thing. And we played, and there was a swamp at the bottom of the hill. And, I mean, we even went in the swamp, you know. It was just, and nobody bothered anybody. It was just, I mean, maybe it's because there was a bunch of us, but we were never afraid of anybody bothering us. Wherever it was we played, that never entered us. The fear thing was never there. It was just, we were out to have a lot of fun, and we, boys and girls, we all played together and had a good time. And I can't remember arguments or altercations. I can't remember anything like that. You know, it seems like we got along with each other. Hallelujah, the world doesn't do that anymore. And it was different ages. My brother's 3 years older than I am, and my sister's 4 years younger. My sister and I played together a lot, but my brother was older, and so he and the guy next door, they sort of had their own bunch. They did their things, we did our things, and so, which was okay. I mean, we didn't want to mess with them anyway. Oh, gee. And we all went to Body Top.
Okay.
And there were two buildings there. There was kind of the square cinder block building that was the first Body Top, and it was grades 1 through 11. We didn't have 12 at that point. It was 1 through 11.
Okay.
And my dad graduated. Oh, I mean, all my dad's people graduated from that. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
And at some point, the other building was built. I think they called it the Kenny Building. And my dad helped build that building. I thought that was cool. So that was, the square building was the elementary, and the big building was the high school.
Okay.
Which, you know, made us feel a little prestige. So we, as far as I remember, we walked to school. I mean, it's not that far, you know. And I always enjoyed school. I enjoyed stuff. I mean, I guess there were people who didn't, but I did, and my sister did. You know, I mean, it was part of your life. It's what you did, and we enjoyed it. It was fun. Had good teachers. That makes a difference. I'm telling you. I mean, I had one teacher who was special, and you have to have passwords and stuff on the computer. So she's my person.
Really?
Favorite teacher. So,
what was her name?
Do I need to do that?
Oh, if you want to.
Yeah, Elizabeth Treacle.
Okay.
And I think she was Nancy's favorite teacher too. She was, I don't know, there was something special about that lady. She was compassionate, and she was smart, and she had a sense of humor. And you can't beat a sense of humor. I'm telling you, you just can't beat that. And then there were the drugstores. You know about the drugstores?
I think so.
You need one of these.
Okay.
you go down the end of the street and, you face the court circle. Okay, on the left was Morgan's drugstore.
Okay.
Across the street was Gray's pharmacy. It's funny, we never call that Gray's. Yeah, we did. We call that Gray's drugstore. I guess they were competitors, I don't know. But if you don't want to cross Main Street, you stay on this side, you go to Morgan's drugstore. You don't have to cross the street. So we never went to Gray's drugstore. But what's funny is Susan and Margaret, my cousins, their next door neighbor was the Gray, the Dr. Gray that owned the thing. So they went to Gray's drugstore, we went to Morgan. It's funny. It's funny what you do, what you get used to doing. But Morgan's drugstore was a hangout after school. I mean, everybody would go and get a coat or something, Mm-hmm. It was neat. They had booths. A bunch of people could sit in. Had a counter, with the stools, and you could get, you could sit there and order whatever it was you wanted to order. Mm-hmm. Damn, that was a long time ago. But it was, I don't know, I guess gentle is the word. It was a gentle time. There wasn't a lot of conflict. If it was, we didn't know about it. Mm. Like, I'm sure the parents did, and World War II was kind of, it was something far away. It just, we had to have gas rationing and the little books with the little slips of paper that you had to give to the people who sold the gas. And the coupons, to get sugar or something. I can't remember, but World War II was far, far away, and I don't think we suffered. I don't know how my parents, if they felt like there was anything, but I remember we collected scrap metal, I think, and my brother and the guy next door and Jimmy. They collected stuff, man. They went in the woods and collected stuff. It was unreal. But, that's what we did to help with the war effort, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember papers. All I remember is the scrap metal stuff. And I never knew what happened to it. Somebody came and got it, I guess, took it away, melted it down or whatever. But our thing was collecting it, so that was it.
Where would you go and what would you do to collect it?
Well, you find stuff on the streets. They go back in the woods. See, I'm not sure where they found all their stuff. Okay. I don't know. Another thing, my brother delivered newspapers in the courthouse area. Had his bicycle, and he would take the papers, and he would go all up and down Main Street. What was it? I had to go with him one time for some reason. I know I wouldn't have done it by myself. I can't remember. But it was quite a distance. It was up past Body Top, and then the side streets, and then down the hill, which down the hill was a triangular road.
Oh, really?
And I think of what it is now and what it was, and it was just. I got another junk here. I got some.
Okay.
There's always something lying around that I should move. Main Street. I don't even know if I can reproduce it. That's not it. That's what it looks like now. Mm-hmm. Shoot. I wonder if he's got it. I don't think he's got it. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. It was a total different configuration from what it is now.
Really?
It's not. Yeah, and the first traffic light in the county was right there. They redid the intersection and.
Were you there when they opened it?
What?
The traffic light?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I was down there, but I was here when they were doing it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, You could go like you're going on 14, and on the right was a movie theater, which, you know, there's one there now, but this was ancient time. We would walk from here to the movie and walk back home in the dark to here, and there were no street lights. I mean, it was just another world. It wasn't in the fear of anything. I mean, it was just a neat place to grow up.
Was that here in this house? Or was it here, was it another house on the street?
What?
Where you grew up?
Right here.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's amazing.
I think there must be all kinds of spirits living in this house beside me. My dad's family lived 3 or 4 miles out of town.
Okay.
And my grandfather died in 1918. It was a flu epidemic that got him. And my oldest uncle was a doctor. And he didn't think much of his mother living out in the sticks by herself. So he had this house built.
Okay.
And we have never settled on what the date was. I mean, grandfather died in 1918. And my best estimate was sometime in the 20s, but I mean, 5 years later? I don't know. We've just never settled on when his house was built. But anyway,
okay.
It was early 20s. So
wow.
He didn't want her out there. So grandmother lived here, my dad lived here, and I think at least 2 other brothers. And when mom and dad got married, he moved back here with my mom, and so she was here, and grandmother was here, and I've often wondered how that worked. I mean, who was in charge? That's one of the things I wish I'd talked to my mom about.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I just don't know. But so anyway, when I inherited the house, I went through all kinds of closets, found all kinds of trunks, and I called up the offspring of those brothers. I said, "Hey, I've got your dad's trunk. You want it?" So I gave all that, you know, I gave it all back to him. But it was something else. And next door neighbor, Ms. Morgan, the Morgan family, she said she remembers hearing the guys sing.
Really?
In summer evenings, they'd get on the porch and they would sing. And my dad sang in the choir, so I know they all sang. But that must have been neat, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody sits on the porch and does anything anymore. Oh, glory, it's different. I mean, you got to have progress, but it's a shame to lose contact with your neighbors. I mean, I know who lives around me. I just don't know the name of those people, but they're nice people. It's just different. But I'm glad I had the opportunity to grow up here. You know, that was nice. I mean, it's something you can't ever do again, and nobody else can do it now either. I mean, I'm sure there's small towns all over that people probably are growing up like we did, but I don't think so. Texting, TV, computers, no, I don't think so. And we would play outside. And like I say, they went to the street. I can't remember when they did street lights. I don't know. But we would play outside till we couldn't see, or somebody would call and say it's time to come in or something. And it was nice.
Can I ask you about some of the buildings?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
At the end of the street, on the left,
Okay.
were 2 garages.
Okay.
Okay. This building, it's got bell tone, it's got all this other stuff. That was the Plymouth garage. And then where Arts on Main is, I think that was the Ford. And it always interested me, why were these 2 garages next to each other?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and they were competitors, obviously. I mean, they serviced different vehicles, but I always thought that was funny. And what was the guy's name? I can't remember. But anyway, when eventually these people were going to redo these, I always thought about the garages. You know, you have a pit that you drive your car over so you can I often wonder what they did with the pits. I never did ask anybody. But between the two garages was an alley. And I doubt if I could walk down it now, if it's still there.
Yeah.
But that was our shortcut.
Okay.
And anyway, so you had garage, and then there was a barber shop. I'm pretty certain it was a barber shop. In fact, my dad took me there one time to get my hair cut. Why am I in a barber shop? I'm a kid, what do I know? Anyway, then there's a little driveway, and then there was the cleaners. And let's see, Sinclair Roads, yeah, 'cause they were kin to us. So every Father's Day we would go and we would buy a tie or shirt or something for my dad.
Oh.
From yeah, cleaners. I mean, he sold stuff too, you know, it wasn't just a cleaner, but he sold things too. Oh, that was fun. And then next to that was a big old house, and there was a wall. And it went down. I can't think of the street. All right, let's go backwards. There's a bank,
Okay.
and then there's some more buildings, and then there's a street. Okay, all right. So this wall, you know, was like so. I think it went down the street. Anyway, people used to sit on the wall. It was like a talking place, you know. It was so fun. I don't think we did, but older people did, you know, grown-ups. Mm-hmm. That was fun. But anyway, so, you know, all that stuff gets torn down and put up new stuff, and what the heck, it's gone. And then you get to the court circle. We used to roller skate.
Really?
On Main Street in the court circle on the sidewalk. There wasn't that much traffic. I mean, somebody was always a lookout, I guess. But you know, the skates you strap on, not boots or anything. We had a lot of fun.
You said your dad worked in the courthouse building?
Yeah, he was a deputy clerk,
Okay.
and he worked there a long time. But I think he thought there wasn't any room for advancement, so he quit that job and started working for a division of motor vehicles. And he would give driver's license tests.
Okay.
And he would check on gas tax forms and all this kind of thing. Anyway, when I started teaching at Gloucester High School, driver ed was one of the things I taught. So they would ask me about Mr. Wiatt. I says, honey, you keep your mouth shut and do what he says. I'll scare the crap out of him. And I always used to say I would teach him and he would test them. And he would get so aggravated at the kids. And that's why I would always tell him, I said, just keep your mouth shut and do what he says. You know, that's all you got to do. But he felt like sometimes maybe it was an attitude thing. He was old school. I mean, he was old school. Yeah, tradition. But sometimes he would get kids who couldn't read very well, and that bothered him. He didn't see why. If they were old enough to get a license, they couldn't read. But anyway. So then, you know, who did I get my license from? Him. Yeah. And he made me drive up and down Main Street, and I had to park between two cars and all this stuff. Scared me to death. Anyway. So I made it all right. I got my license. It was cool. But the first year I taught, I didn't have a car. I had to hitch a ride with somebody up the street. And when I realized I was going to be coaching, I figured I had to have a car. So I got a car. And they signed for me. You know, I got it from the bank. You know, got the loan from the bank. And,
what were you coaching?
Everything.
Okay.
I had cheerleaders, I had basketball, I had softball, and field hockey. I started the field hockey team.
Wow.
Because I felt like, you know, other schools around us were playing field hockey, and I played in college, so I thought, you know, we ought to have field hockey, so we did.
Where did you go to school?
Longwood.
Okay.
College.
Okay.
It was not the university then. In fact, it had recently changed from Farmville State Teachers College to Longwood College. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was glad it was Longwood and not Farmville State Teachers. But one of Dad's sisters had been to Farmville State Teachers College, so it was a good choice. I enjoyed college years. I probably didn't take advantage of all the academic stuff I should have, but I had a good time. I played sports, it was it was a good experience.
And you came back when you graduated?
I came back here to teach. I didn't have any thought of going anywhere else. It's interesting. So I came back and I taught my sister Nancy and I taught Susan and Margaret. And that was interesting. Because I told them, says, you got to call me Miss Wiatt. I said, you can't call me Roberta. I think they just didn't call me anything. Right, But I enjoyed teaching. Teaching was, well, it was different from when I started and from when I quit. A lot different. Numbers, attitudes, everything. Basically, I think the kids are the same. It's just what interests them is different. And what they want to put time in. And when I started coaching, goes for PE, I just taught the girls and somebody else. The men's coach taught the boys. But when we had tryouts for teams, a lot of girls would try it because they wanted to be part of something, special, which was cool. As time progressed, I got to teach everybody. But that was fun because guys are different. It really is so cool. I had to get used to it. But I'm sorry, I enjoyed them. I have nephews that I enjoy, and great nephews. Holy smoke. One of my great nephews owns a building next to Angel Wing Stationery. He owns that building. He's a landscape architect. Smart. He has a creative mind that his grandmother has, that his dad has. It's uncanny to me. They can visualize how things fit together. My nephew works at the shipyard, and he has to do with nuclear subs and pipes and all that kind of stuff. And he can see how if you go with pipes a certain way, it works, and if you don't, it doesn't. And it's not anything on paper, but in his mind, he sees it. And he has to argue with these college geniuses about, and they don't believe him because he didn't have that kind of education. But he's right. And he's never wrong. And Ricky, he can see stuff how it's supposed to be when he gets through with the landscaping. It's not pictures, it's not drawing. They visualize it. And Jackie does the same thing. Fayette and Jackie have 6 kids. They travel all over the place, depending on Fayette's work and all that stuff. And she's an artist. She's a seamstress, but she's an artist. Oh my gosh. Let me see, do I have one on the wall? That's a little one right there.
Oh.
That was, let me see. She might have done this one. I forget. Isn't that stupid? Yeah, she did that one. Okay.
Oh, I like that one.
She always put J.Y. on her stuff.
I like that one a lot.
It's supposed to be my aunt. That was
really?
the Wiatt family home.
Okay.
All their 14 kids were born there.
Wow.
12 survived to adulthood.
Where was that?
It's on, you go out 17, it's in the, oh shoot, it's before you get to Ark. Anyway, it's on the right. It's across from a little garage type thing. But they were in the boonies. That's why my uncle wanted my grandmother out of there, because it was, it was far away from everything.
It's big, too.
And I don't know if she drove. Probably not. She probably didn't drive. Yeah. But,
how long were you teaching and coaching?
40 years.
Wow.
I know nobody believes it. But I did.
That's awesome.
And it was. And I mean, I went through all these social changes and all this stuff. It was something. But basically, kids are kids. And they were fun to teach. And I loved the coaching. Teaching was fun. Get kids to accomplish stuff that they weren't sure they could accomplish. And PE was interesting for me because I wasn't going to be a DI drill instructor. I just wanted the kids to have fun doing whatever it was we were doing. And if they weren't great at it, so. I wasn't great at some stuff, so, I mean, what's the difference? But it always bothered me that some PE instructors do it this way, do it my way, or the highway. I hated that. You know, I mean, let's have fun, man. And so I think most of the kids did have fun. But I did kind of watch, and if I saw kids who I thought were good athletes, I'd talk to them about playing either basketball, you know, something. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I did get to deal with the, you know, really capable athletes, which is fun. Coaching is another world. Daggone. And I read with Pat Summitt, and I thought, how sad to lose a mind like hers. Mm-hmm. That was something else. I had her book about her undefeated season. Man, that woman was something else. Mm-hmm. She was something else. And she won more games than John Wooden did. Wooden was awesome. Awesome. I got his book too.
Really?
You know, it takes a special mind, and they were creative. They you know, they thought of things that other people hadn't thought of. Man. And they were people-oriented, but they didn't cater to people's personalities. You know, it was the coach's way. That's for sure. Both of them. That's you know, they demanded that. But I think they were thoughtful of individuals too. But, man. Anyway, that's them.
Okay. Were you teaching when schools were desegregated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
What was that like?
Yep. Didn't bother me. Bothered some kids. Bothered some other people. Mm-hmm. But, you know, people are people. I don't care what you look like. You're in my class, you just do what I say. You know, we have things we do, and that's what you do. Mm-hmm. It's, I was a little nervous about it because I didn't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. But basically, kids are all the same. I mean, they really are, yeah. It was fun. Some people think, how could you teach teenagers? I say, well, you know, I've related to them. The first 4 or 5 years I taught, I was just like one of them, man. I loved it. It was fun. And I realized, hey, you know, I'm older than they are. Oh, shoot.
Wow. 40 years is a long time, yeah.
The classes, I was trying to think. They built a new high school, which was nice. We had to move everything from the old high school to the new high school. God, that was something else. Boxes galore. I went all over the courthouse getting boxes from people. You know, people throw boxes away. Now they cut them up and recycle them, but and I would go to the dumpsters behind the store. This sounds pitiful, but I'd grab all the boxes I could grab. We needed boxes. Oh man, my fellow teacher and we got along, but damn, she didn't live long enough. That woman passed. She had a heart attack. Passed away. I don't know if she was 50. I don't know. That was sad. We worked together for a long time. It was a good thing. Anyway, she's gone.
I'm sorry.
They come and go.
Do you stay in touch with many folks you used to work with?
No.
No.
They're gone.
Oh.
That's pitiful.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
As a coach, I used to drive a school bus.
Okay. You did everything.
Yeah. But I enjoyed that. That was fun.
Wow.
But when I started out, it had the clutch. Mm-hmm. You know, you
Yeah.
But as time went on, it got to be automatic. I loved it. Man, automatic was so nice. I didn't worry about if you're on a hill, what you gonna do. And one time I drove to my co-worker was the field hockey coach. She was awesome. Holy smoke, she was awesome. Her usual bus driver couldn't drive, so I drove the team to Virginia Beach. And I'd never driven to Virginia Beach before, but she knew where to go. So she said, yeah, I'll tell you what. We made it fine. It was good. Man, she was good. Honest to Pete, that woman she was awesome field hockey coach. Well, we have an awesome field hockey coach now because they're state champs.
Wow.
They did that.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's
Old
awesome.
Red. Not. Did he do the field hockey? I'm trying to think. I don't know, but whoever did the field hockey, I mean, they went got the big cup, you know, all the little medals that each one gets. It's just such a neat thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a senior, it only happens once. And then you're gone. So
yeah.
And some of them got scholarships to colleges and everything. So sports is good. I mean, character and all that stuff, but it really is a good thing. The competition, and you know, you lose, you better not be a bad loser. You better not be a bad. There's no way. You got to suck it up and take it, because that's life. That's life. Winning is fun. You can't beat it. Oh, man. Yeah.
Do you remember some really big ones?
Not really.
No?
We won.
There are probably a lot.
we won some district championships in different sports. I know we got to go to state. We never. I'm not sure they had state. We went to regional some. I don't know, but it was good. Coaching was fun. Drive you crazy, but fun. Oh man! And I watch softball on TV, and I'm seeing the catcher looking at this list on her arm, and the pitcher looking at the list, and they give her a little signal. And I'm thinking to myself, "Daggone! Why don't you just put down 2 fingers or 1 finger? You know, what is with this thing looking?" But they do it. You know, I mean, that's technology, man. That's advancement. Yeah, right. Oh, gee. Anyway, it's I enjoyed all the sports, and I got into cheerleading because they told me I had to do cheerleading, and I wasn't a cheerleader. I had never had anything to do with cheerleaders, and so I learned. But you know, cheerleaders are special people. They're just so energetic, and they're competitive too. And it's I had struggles sometimes with personalities, but they're just special people, and a lot of mine are still around, and I see them, and you know, it's great. It's just I love seeing my people. I go to Walmart. I'm bound to see somebody I taught or somebody I coached. It's just unreal.
That's really nice.
And if I can't remember their names, I'll tell them, "I'm sorry, I know I coached you. I just can't." I mean, I just tell them, what the heck is no use in trying to fake it. So, but then I just, you know, I'm old. I can forget. Oh, man. Well, let me tell you about the church.
Okay.
Around the circle on the left is the Presbyterian Church. And Bill's book has some great pictures. I think everybody on the avenue probably went to that church, as well as I can remember. I mean, maybe somebody might have gone to White. Yes, across the street. They went to White. Anyway, in the summertime when they would have Bible school, everybody would go to the Bible school. And church and Sunday school is what you did. You know, it wasn't something you didn't want to do. I mean, you wanted to go, so we went. Some places parents dragged their kids to church. They didn't have to drag us. We were glad to go. And we had good teachers and enjoyed participating in Sunday school. And I remember one summer there was a church camp at Jamestown, and a bunch of us went, and that was fun. I was on James River. I got to swim in the James River. And you would swim in it now if it paid you. You know, a friend of mine, well, a husband of a friend of mine, you familiar with this MRSA stuff?
Yes, yeah.
He had a cut on his arm, a hand, and hadn't thought about it. He was fishing and his hands were in the water. And the daggone germ got him. And I'm telling you, I think he's okay. I mean, I know he's still here. I mean, but I don't know. But that's an awful thing. And I was thinking when we grew up, Mama's sister lived close to the York River, and we would go visit her, and we would go down the hill and go swimming. And you know, never thought about it. I mean, you always had cuts and scrapes, or you know, impetigo or poison ivy scratches. I never thought. I mean, salt water was good for you, right? But now, gee whiz, it's scary. I got Zika virus in South America. That's really scary. You know, it's like they get shots for everything, and then something else shows up. Then they got to get something for that, and then something else shows. It's unbelievable. It's like God saying, "You think you've got it made?" Not. Anyway, at one point I taught a Sunday school class, but that wasn't really my thing. It was not the same as high school kids. Anyway, and I did I was choir director for 30 years. Now, that was fun. See, I'm a music person and a sports person.
You've done everything, yeah.
I can't. It's hard to separate them. In fact, I'm still taking piano lessons, which people can't. I can blow my nose. People cannot believe I'm doing that. But you know, I've got a piano in there, and if I don't take lessons, I'm not going to play that thing. So, sorry. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed choir directing, and I had good organists to play for me, and that's crucial because basically they knew more than I did, because I was not a music scholar. You know, I always loved to sing and took piano lessons as a kid. So the lady who was the director said, I mean, her family moved, so she had to go. So they said, "What? Why don't you do it?" I said, "Well, I don't know." So anyway, I did, and I learned a lot. I had good people playing for me, and it was fun. It was a fun thing to do. And what was it? Oh, I know. My mom got sick. And I really couldn't leave her by herself on Sundays. So anyway, I retired in '94 from was it '93? I forget. Anyway, I did 30 years, and I retired. And bless her heart, Mom was a smart lady. Worked at the bank. She was in the. She wasn't a teller, but she was in the bookkeeping department. But she got dementia. Man, that's an evil thing. Bit by bit, you think you've got it made here, and then something else happens. It's unreal. It's unreal. So that's why I had to stop doing the choir. I need to be with her more. I was lucky. I found somebody to stay with her while I was teaching. Very lucky, very lucky. She was a good soul. anyway, you got to do what you got to do, you know? Life is not all bowl full of cherries. Oh, strawberries and cream. I've been watching Wimbledon. That's fun. And Serena goes for the title today. I hope she wins. The person she's playing in the finals beat her sister.
Really?
And so I hope she beats that lady 6-0, 6-0. Because Venus was the oldest one in the whole tournament of the women. Okay, she's 36. I think Serena's 33. But anyway, Venus looked great. I mean, she went through all these people, and then she gets to this last one, and she just can't. She couldn't do it. The other lady outplayed her. So. But anyway, they are remarkable two tennis players, honestly. And they played doubles, but I never did see the results. I don't know what they did, if they won the doubles or not. I don't know.
That would be amazing.
And you never read about that. I mean, they'll the Daily Press. I mean, nothing bad about them, but they don't put little stuff. And doubles is just not a big deal. The men's and the women's, and that's it. I don't even think they mess with the juniors anymore. Results. But they do good results for major sports, so can't complain too much.
How many girls got involved in sports? Did that change over the time that you were coaching? So I know Title IX had a big effect on some different areas. So I'm curious.
I was trying to think. I don't know. I know when I started coaching basketball, you had to play half court. These people were defense and these people were offense. And during my coaching time, they changed the rules so that 2 from each team could go the whole court. And eventually it got so we played just like the guys. And once that happened, I had half as many kids try out. They didn't want to run. If you played half court, that was your half. You didn't have to go to any other end. It was hard. I had a hard time coaching basketball when that happened, but I learned along with the kids. But it was fun. It's interesting to see the skills that you didn't think the girls had, but they did. All you have to do is show them. Tell them, coach them, whatever. They can do anything. I don't know. Is there anything else on Main Street that I'm trying to think?
Let me see. T.C. Walker and Johnny Walker's houses.
There.
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny Walker's house is right at the end of Duval, across the street. Duval, the next street, and then that one. That's, I think, let me think, what was the one? There was a house where the fire department is. But that wasn't John, that was the doctor. That was the black doctor. What was his name? Dr. Morris. Dr. Morris. And a kid that I knew had some kind of an infection. He treated her and solved the problem.
Really?
Well, that was interesting. Yeah. She, I can't remember whether it was a tick bite or some thing that got infected. I don't know, but it was hard to get rid of. But he solved it. I'd forgotten about Dr. Morris's house. How about that? That's cool. Let me think. Okay, it was his house, and then there was this little thing. Then Olivia's was a business deal, but there was a place between Dr. Morris and Olivia's. And at one time, a guy owned that place, and they called it Live and Let Live.
Really?
And he was an interesting character. He was he appealed to young people. He had an outgoing personality, and he wasn't critical of anybody. He was a neat guy. I never knew what happened to him. People come and go, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't always know. Business takes them somewhere else or whatever. Interesting.
Have more tourists started coming here? Do you think more tourists started coming here? Has that had a big impact on the way the city looks at all? I know it's a really historic area.
I don't know. How did we get bigger? I guess business. And you know, the bypass. Everybody thought the courthouse would die when they did the bypass, you know, Route 17. We didn't miss a beat, man. In fact, it's because of the kind of place it is. You know, it's not big city type anything. It's just a regular place.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Botetourt Hotel?
I don't know if it was there. It didn't impress me as being an historic place or anything. But what's interesting, it's a long building. I know it's a long building. And at this end, there might have been some steps down from the porch or something. Anyway, there was a bell hanging there. And guess what we did on Halloween? Bang, bang! I remember that. That was funny. We always had to ring that bell. I'm sure that bugged the people who ran it. Oh, man. But you know, it wasn't something that we were impressed with. I mean, it was there. It was just part of the courthouse scene. It's interesting because we didn't go on that side of the street much. Isn't that weird? I think about it. It is so weird. The grocery store that we went to was on this side of the street, and it's in the area of SunTrust Bank. It might have been. You have SunTrust Bank, and you have a little garden thing, and then you have what was Morgan's Drugstore and J.H. Martin Company. That grocery store was right there. So again, you know, we went to the grocery store. It was on that side of the street. Isn't that funny? I hadn't thought of that before. That's really weird. This keeps you out of traffic. I mean, but later there was Gray's Drugstore and Lee's Market. Buck Lee and his wife had a grocery store there, and Buck had worked at Martin's store, and so then Buck had his store over across the street, and so we went there. But you know, we could walk anywhere we needed to do anything, which is interesting. I guess we walked to church. I can't. I don't know. But if Dad, if he drove, I guess we all went with him in the car. You know, I don't think we walked. That's fine. We walked to school.
Did your dad ever tell you much about what it was like when he was growing up around here?
You know, not really. One of my cousins wrote a book called The Wiatt Family of Virginia, and there's a lot of good stuff in there. So if we have questions sometimes, we refer to the Wiatt book. You know. Anyway, I can't remember he came in with the second one because there were a lot of people, lot more people, and so he wanted to add all these other people. So he came out with a second book. That was interesting, but he's good. I mean, he went back. Ancient times. And then something, my Air Force nephew did a DNA thing. He says, we're related to the Vikings. I said, Matt, you're crazy. He says, no, he says, we are. We have Viking blood. I said, all right, brother, you go ahead. That was funny. But we always thought of ourselves as English or Scottish. And then he comes up with the Viking thing. I think, all right, man, you be a Viking. That was funny. But you know, if you go back far enough, everybody's the same anyway. Mm-hmm. So what the heck, man? Mm-hmm. I don't mind being a Viking. It's all right. I can be one. I read Hagar the Horrible in the comics. Yeah, I think, okay, that'll be Matt. Anyway. Oh, gosh. It's funny how bits and pieces of stuff come to you. Mm-hmm. It's
yeah.
Not even hooked together or anything. But I remember playing in the street. That's no big deal. I mean, nobody drove down the street after work, you know. It was our playground. The woods, the street, the backyards. That's funny. Mm. It was. I guess you could say it was a safe time. I just don't have recollections of being afraid of anything.
Hmm. Wow.
Our parents might have been, but I just can't recall. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of anything. I don't know. Hmm.
Those are almost all my questions.
The thing is, it's all gone. The spirit, the feeling, you know, what you had then, it's gone. I'm sure about your child, it's the same thing. That was then, this is now. And it's just not the same. You don't see kids playing it here. They're inside playing with something else, some device. Once in a while, I'll see joggers. I saw 2 girls the other day, and I'm thinking, you idiots, go home. It was in the middle of the day. I said, how could you, run at 5 o'clock, man? You can't say anything, so I didn't say anything. Daggone, I still can't get over that. That was this week, and it was hot.
It is hot.
Yeah.
It's really hot.
And it's also muggy. Mm-hmm. Typical Virginia hot. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's like that in Florida or not, but
very much.
It is. Yeah.
Very much.
You got Atlantic, you got the Gulf. I mean, you
it's swampy in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very swampy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It feels like home, actually.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything.
Okay.
We played all over the courthouse area. There were places we could get up on the roof of somewhere and we could watch people. And I mean, I don't know why we did that, but you know, if it's high and you can get up there, you will. Mm-hmm. One time, we had a ladder, and we got up on the roof, and we were playing. We got ready to go down, the ladder was gone. So we jumped.
Whoa.
We were fine, but you know, it was... I don't know, somebody didn't realize we were up there, if they didn't care. They just took the ladder and went, you know. That was fun. Oh, man.
There's a lot of history in this area, like Fairfield and Roswell and Jamestown and Yorktown. Right. Did you guys do much with that when you were younger? Were you aware of it very much, or did that come later?
I don't think... I mean, we knew about Williamsburg, mm-hmm. but I don't... I'm trying to think about Jamestown. But we were just right here. Mm-hmm. Weren't too concerned about other historic places. it was good to go to college for all of us because there are people there with different upbringings, different ideas, different everything. It was just a good thing. College was a good thing, besides the academic part. Yeah, it was good. A broadening thing, which people need. Shoot, you can't get any broader anymore. The world's right there in your living room. Oh man, and that Dallas thing, it just breaks my heart what's happening in this country. Somebody decides he hates people, so he takes a gun and goes out and gets them. Just shoots them. They don't care. Over and over and over. Yeah, we kicked the Lord out of the schools, we kicked the Lord out of everything. Now he's getting us. That's what it is. Paying us back. I mean, there's no... Whatever, I can't get on that. But it's sad. I'll have to show you my books.
Okay.
I have to do that.
Okay. Should I keep the recorder on or off?
Yeah, you can cut it off.
All right.